It's Friday. It's the happy hour show. Got to be excited for that. Hey, shout out. It's 9/11. Other cities outside of New York, of course, were affected on this day. But my shout out to my friends in New York, the New York Athletic Club host to the AAU Sullivan Awards. That's right. Hey, we got a great one today. Maggie Hyde, the comedian, is on. And wait till you hear about her event. And guess who else? That's right. The Hall of Fame broadcaster, Randy Rosenbloom. We got more backgammon info coming your way. Let's start the show. I'm a Venice, California-born, Los Angeles-based sports fan. One that has played, coached, announced, and promoted sports my whole life. My love affair with sports started in my own backyard and has led me to this podcast. Thanks to the support of the Amateur Athletic Union in East Bay, I'm excited to bring you Sports Stories with Denny Lennon.
Sports Stories with Denny Lennon aims to bring its subscribers interesting, unique, and uplifting stories. You can find us at sportstoriespodcast.com. We drop audio and video podcasts every Thursday and go live on YouTube Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Many guests have shared their stories with host Denny Lennon, such as Super Bowl and BCS champions Brendan Ion Badejo, Peter Boulware, and Trevor Lawrence, three-time Olympic gold medalist Karch Karai, Kentucky Derby winner Doug O'Neill, NCAA champions Toby Bailey and St. John Smith, Hall of Famers Jimmy Lennon Jr., Rudy Tomjanovich, world champions Boom Boom Mancini and Tim Leary, AAU Sullivan Award winners Catherine Plummer, Sabrina Ionescu, and Spencer Lee, not to mention the head honcho, AAU president Dr. Roger Gowdy. We've also had best-selling authors Wesley King and Wayne Coffey, and our Sports Stories favorite, Norm Bass, the first African-American to play two professional sports post-World War II. Become a friend of the show on Patreon, and you can help keep the dream alive. Go to patreon.com/Denny Lennon or go to our website to see all of our social media links. If you have an interesting, unique, or uplifting story to tell, contact us on sportstoriespodcast.com.
Coming to you live from Los Angeles. We're in the shadow of LAX. It's a top-rated video podcast in the Centinela Adobe Corridor. It's where we share a wall with the Korean United Methodist, and you can see St. Jerome Church from our back porch. We're in the 7428 studio where Jimbo and Marley run the show, and Buck kicks back until he's got to kick it out. It's SSDL Live at 5 on YouTube. That's right, it is. That's right. Welcome in, everybody. Hey, let's get started. Cheers. Oh, you like that logo? I like it too. Cheers. It's happy hour. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. Hope everybody's enjoying. It's enjoyed the week and now settle in. Let's have some fun on this happy hour show. Maggie Hyde, the comedian who's hosting a very important charity relief meant to say that, LEAF. You'll see why. Will be coming on, and Randy will be coming up soon. First, out here in LA, we're dealing with our own stuff. I don't know if you could tell from this shot we just took, but the air quality is not so good. It kind of reminds me of smog when I was a kid, except this comes from the fires. So shout out to our firefighters. And we're dealing with our own tragedy, small as it may be. Look at this. Yeah, that's still the same backyard. Come on, Rick. Golden State. What's up, dude? You cannot find any concrete. Why would you start a project when there's going to be a concrete strike? Anyways, look at our poor hoop there. See? Yeah, we've been living this, I don't know, 2-3 years. I'm not sure how long this has been going on. Look at Buck. Buck's not happy with it either. So it's been a while, 7428 studio, but we will marshal through. But there is some things that we could be happy about. You know why? LA dominating, Dodgers dominating the NL West, straight dominating, right? The Clippers up by 12 at halftime. They're about to go to the Western Conference Finals. The Lakers, well, we know what they got in store. They're going to wrap it up tomorrow. Hey, guess what? The NFL started, and my LA Chargers and my LA Rams undefeated. That's right. We're riding on top of the sports world. I am supporting the Rams. Dodgers right here. My boys and all of my friends in New York. As a matter of fact, my daughter's in New York right now. That's right. She is. Hey, yeah, how about those first responders? But look at that. So she sent that in right before we went on the air. Look at New York City. And let's remember at post 9/11 how our country came together for a common cause. Hopefully we can find that spirit and move forward, because certainly are facing tough times and we got to be together. Let's do this. Okay. Moving right along. Oh, did I mention that Houston Astros are a bunch of cheaters? Right? Did I mention that? But I can't wait. I can't wait until the Dodgers do it, because I think we got them. And Joe Kelly. Okay, we'll get to that. Hey, top five. It's my family here. I hope so. My St. Mark and my St. Bernard people. How about my VBCers and my AAUers? Let's go. Hey, feel free to chat, and we'll try to get your comments going. Hey, top 5 states outside of California watching the show. We can do in-show metrics. All right, coming in at number 5, Oklahoma. That's right, Gary and Mary leading the fan group out that way. Number 4 is Oregon. I got to fill you in on Oregon, but they're dealing with the fires as well. Shout out that way. Tennessee coming in at number 3. Guess where our guest grew up? This must be bringing a crowd. Michigan coming in at number 2. That's right. You know, that's where our boy Mike McKay, we're going to talk a little bit about him. Number 1, outside of California, always, it's OH. Ohio. It's Ohio. They do it each and every time. Hey, before we move much further, I want to send all the best thoughts and prayers and positivity towards Sally and Rich and my Blazer cousins that are up there in Oregon. They had to evacuate last night. Luckily, my cousin Donnie had a place for them to get to, and hopefully they stay safe, because they did through last night, and they get a chance to get back into their own homes. We're all dealing with a lot out this way. Also, happy birthday to my brother Jeff. Let's see. I'm number 7 in the family. Jeff's right above me at 6. Happy birthday. And Sally's right above. I'll fill you in on the rest of the family at some other point. We don't have all show. All right. What's next? Hey, let's recap. Okay, earlier this week. What did we do earlier this week? Oh, every Tuesday now we're launching on, it's called Never Seen LA. And we launched this on Instagram. We'll show it on Facebook and the like, but it's really mostly on Instagram. And I'll be going to one of Jonas Never, go to one of his murals, and there's many of them. Okay, that's a new one. I'll talk about that. But I'll go there and try to provide some historical and social context. He just put this one up in Venice, it looks like. I got to confirm that, but that's the Joe Kelly. It's not, it's somewhere outside. That's the Joe Kelly pouty face to the Houston Astros after he fired the ball at him. Hilarious. Hey, on our PTO show, Savannah Standich, Kelly Bellardi, the 16 girls national champions, they jumped on the show. They were a lot of fun. We got to talk about Irish dancing and TikTok. All right, Thursday, we dropped our podcast interview, long form, long interview, uninterrupted. Randy Rosenbloom, that's him. He's the Hall of Fame broadcaster. And guess what? Randy's on the show tonight on the Happy Hour show. So that's good. And we can talk about that. Hey, how about today, 9/11? We definitely want to say something. Not only do we want to honor our victims, survivors, all our first responders, but our armed forces also, of course, we're called into action after that. We support the heroes movement on this show. All right. Mike McKay, he's our guy, and he's the founder of the heroes movement. He happened to be in LA receiving an award, and he and some of his buddies got together and made sure that I had this. And it's pretty cool. I put it on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook today, but you'll notice what it is. It's a bracelet. It's a bracelet, right? Band. It's a band for guys. I'm not really sure. And he knows I'm married. So when he gave it to me, he knew that it was a friendship thing. And that said, it's got all of these cubes on there are parts. The military is represented, each branch of the military, and then every nonprofit group, or most every nonprofit group that supports veterans, are also represented on here. So I wear this with honor, and we honor the heroes movement at all costs. So let's show Mike's video so everybody remembers who Mike McKay is.
All right, those are 2 dudes in the studio tonight. Thanks, fellas.
Hey, Mike was named the 2020 Red Cross Hero of the Armed Forces. That's where he got his award down in Orange County, the county south of us, where the LA Angels play. Stupid LA Angels. Why would they call themselves that when they're in a different county? Anyhow, that's where Mike got that award. Met up with him last night. Mike is a great guy. Hey, speaking of 9/11, as I mentioned, wearing the shirt tonight, I get an opportunity to go to New York, part of the Sullivan Award Committee. And so, we just put a little something together. If you've never been to the memorial that's in New York City, it's well worth your while. That is really a moving tribute that they built. If you do get that chance and you stand there, you feel the gravity of the whole episode and the water that's going down. And it's brilliant. That was my friend Joyce Cooney that I was in New York City with, that we got a chance to stand there and watch that. Okay. Hey, I hope you follow me on Twitter at Sports Stories DL. I hope you do. We try to make it interesting. And at current, I'm doing a poll on who's the king of the beach. Karch Krai, St. John Smith. We're not necessarily going after their beach skills quite yet. The most current game 3, which each of these last a week, I'm asking whose senior team at UCLA was better. Both went undefeated. Each of those got the MVP award of the tournament, and if not of the season. And so Karch and St. John going at it. It's tied at 1-1. The first game was Karch over St. John, and that based their acting skills. Karch from an episode of Baywatch in 1994. St. John was an episode of Magnum PI, 1983. Karch won that one. The second one, we put their sponsors against one another. Karch was Speedo, kind of weird for beach volleyball. St. John was Side Out, took that one. So it's at 1-1. I think they're tied in my poll right now. You go on Sports Stories DL and cast your vote, if you would. It'd be great. Okay. All right. We're moving. We're doing good, huh, Marley?
Yeah. Good job.
Do I get to bring on our first guest?
Yes.
I do?
Mm-hmm.
I love this guy. Okay. Here's my buddy, Randy. Always got to have a montage.
Now, if you thought that was ridiculous, now we get to the stuff that's sublime. Now, if you have children out there and you don't want them to watch it, I'm being serious for a moment. I really don't think you should. This is for the mature adult.
She says that she smokes just to keep her hands busy. The pace of her talking is making me dizzy.
Now, that is real gutsy.
Business, I think I should say, slow down, Arlene. You don't have to do it all at once. Relax, Arlene. You're young.
Missed again, but the rebound is good. So
Classic.
rightly so.
Life that must be quenched. The game just started, so don't get bent. Slow down, Arlene, slow down. Well, she's almost.
He's the Southern California Jewish Sports Hall of Famer. The guy's in 2 Hall of Fames. That's right. He's a Hall of Fame guy, too. Let's bring him on. Randy Rosenbloom. Hello there, Randy. Uh-oh. Randy, you got to unleash your voice, the golden tones. Let's see if Marley's at the controls. Hold on a sec.
There it goes.
Okay, you're good now, Randy.
See, that happens normally. A lot of people will mute me, so that's not unusual.
Par for the
You
course.
know what I didn't realize, Denny, and I now know it? You are the key to the presidential election. You are so popular in the swing states of Michigan and Ohio. You are the key for Biden and Trump.
I like it. I can do that. We try not to play political here, but if it's gonna drive the ratings, Randy, we both know that's important.
Yeah, and I just noticed that when you're talking about the states where people were viewing the show, and Ohio and Michigan, I wouldn't doubt that a lot of the political pundits now will try to advertise on your program.
Yeah, so far we're not taking them. We're just gonna, we're gonna roll with what we got so far because that Casablanca sponsorship is sending us through the roof. Randy, I got a question for you. Well, first, since you brought up Michigan and Ohio, let's talk a little bit about college football. You have in the past called your share of college football games, and
Sure.
it's a pretty interesting landscape out there with the SEC and the Big 12 moving forward. It looks like the Big 10 is going to jump in, but the Pac-12 has been completely quiet all the way through. What are you hearing from your sources, whether or not the Pac-12 rather has any plans on jumping into the fray, perhaps after Thanksgiving or something like that?
I don't see it. I think if they come back, it would be in the fall. But I have the sense because it's a little more restrictive here and the protocols are not as easy to apply in California for the SCs and the UCLAs and Stanford and Cal up north. I think it's going to be difficult. I do think the Big Ten is going to come back. A lot of their schools, led by Ohio State and Nebraska, really want to get back on the playing field, and their presidents are behind them. I don't sense we have that kind of momentum out here on the West Coast. I'd like to see him play. You're right. The ACC, the Big 12, and the Southeastern Conference are starting to get it revved up. The Southeastern Conference will start on the 26th. The ACC really gets it going this weekend. We got Duke and Notre Dame. Clemson's going to play Wake Forest. So, yeah, there's going to be some good football, especially in the South. I wish it would come to the West Coast.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Obviously there's lots of hoops to jump through. Speaking of which, Randy, you've done so many different sports, and we got a chance to cover most of those during our interview, which was earlier in the year that we recorded right here in the old 7428 studio. And that's out now for reinterpretation. It's called Uninterrupted, where there's no intros, and we just go right to our conversation. Randy, we covered an awful lot the time you were here. I was most interested in your background in Olympic sports.
Well, my background in the Olympic sports is I announced Olympics. I mean, so that's, I did the beach volleyball, the first tournament in '96 when, you mentioned it, Karch Karai and Kent Steffes went on to win the gold medal. I did indoor volleyball in the '92 Olympics at Barcelona. I did rowing in Greece and Athens. The drought is over for the United States. They finally won a gold medal in the 8-man boat after 40 years. I also have done a ton of softball, and I even did some softball in the Olympics and boxing in the Olympics on radio on some of my days off in Barcelona. And there was only a couple of them. I did the softball gold medal game, and I also did a couple of nights of boxing. So I've done those sports at the Olympic level. Outside the Olympics, I did softball on the national championship level for ESPN and UCLA in 1992, led by their great pitcher Lisa Fernandez, won on a walk-off homer against Arizona. Jennifer Brewster hit the game winner, and I get to call the walk-off homer, which was a lot of fun.
I was always a Brewster fan, but respect Hernandez. Randy, I got a question for you. I know pretty soon after Coach John Wooden retired from UCLA, he was an analyst, and you were the play-by-play guy. And you called some of the college basketball games. What was he like as an analyst?
He was solid. I mean, he was Coach John Wooden. He was the guy. I mean, when he spoke, you listened, and I respected his opinion, and I respected him as a person. And Coach Wooden and I struck up a mild friendship, and just a great individual. And he did the home games with me. He didn't travel. Another gentleman by the name of Al Keck, who now, as last time I heard, was working in Tampa, Florida as a sports anchor. He may be retired, but Al Keck did the games with me on the road. But Coach Wooden did the games at Pauley Pavilion, and quickly the best story there is we would pre-tape our pregame and then go upstairs and call the game. But it would be difficult for me to get him upstairs because everybody was looking for his autograph. So I had to be the bad guy, and I had to pull him away from the autograph seekers at Pauley Pavilion. But he was very good to the fans, and he was very good to me. And we had a really good time.
I would imagine almost the polar opposite, shows your versatility, would be calling a pay-per-view wrestling event, of which there's some notoriety that you achieved there because you filled in at the last second, prepared the best you could, but you took a hammering from the people for I don't know what reason. I went back and watched this, Randy. I thought you were solid.
Well, I appreciate that. I recently looked at it, and I thought I had some moments. I think the show was over for the Beast. Dutch, my color analyst, really he and I didn't jive all that much, but that was his style to be a guy who would interrupt and interject his opinions and say, Randy, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about, that kind of stuff. But again, that's the essence of what that show was all about. It was mildly successful financially for Billy Stone, who put the show together. But if you look at it, the show itself is disjointed, and I was part of it. I was not without my faults. I was not 100% accurate on some calls, but I don't really know that it really matters. That's my case. If I call a leg kick another kind of kick, what's the difference? Nobody, it's the guy getting kicked. So I mean, I had some fun with it. It was a long time ago. It's been 20 years, but it did get me negative press, and I guess you can say bad press is, it's good. Any press is good.
I would say your analyst threw you in the Dutch oven, Randy, and it wasn't cool. Moving right along, you look now. I just tried to set the table as quickly as possible, but I have a big question to ask you. Now, I want our viewers to remember, like,
the answer is yes. I'll return for the East Bay shootout. I told you I would do that.
I know, and you were a big hit there, pushing the other side. Speaking of wrestling, you riled up the fans, and that was brilliant. I got something else I've been working on, but I got to show you a video first, and then I'll ask you an important question. But I want our viewers to keep in mind, you've Olympics, collegiate, high school, professional sport, all across the board. This guy's done it. Okay, but this should get you going, Randy. Watch what we're cooking on now. Randy, okay. All right. You saw that. How could you not get pumped to play a little backgammon? And you saw the alliance of both sponsors and support systems, like the sanctioning body of the Amateur Athletic Union with their 56 districts and the ability to license what will be this sport. We'll do it as an adult sport. Mick Ultra is going to get involved. You saw that. Coos Tees, a design shirt just for an Ultra to fit in there beautifully. We have a national point system, Randy, that we're gonna play out, that we've already tested in the AU beach market. It's gonna work, and it's gonna create a competitive balance. And I got a question to ask you, Randy. If you could see my shot, I get down on a knee and ask you this question. One knee. This knee. Randy, will you join the National Backgammon Alliance as the official voice?
Wow. I thought, again, you were going to propose to me when you're going to get on the one knee. The answer is yes. It's a relatively new sport for me. A lot of my friends played it when I was growing up. I'll learn the sport, look forward to it, and sure, it sounds like a lot of fun. I've done Wimbledon, I've done the Olympics, I've done numerous bowls, NBA, I've done NFL, CFL. Why not?
This is brilliant. All right, I have told people there's nobody who prepares better for a game than Randy Rosenbloom does. He's always prepared. This isn't going to be easy, Randy, because each and everybody, an adult can play. So we're going to have this wide range of players going across the 56 districts that make up the Amateur Athletic Union. And I know you'll dive in. You're going to find out who the best players in each district are. And then what our plan is with Johnny Mohawk, who's going to do our point system, is we're going to have this live streamed from people's homes, wherever they're playing, whether they're the Heroes Movement is going to host one at the Veteran of Foreign Wars Hall. There's going to be somebody's going to host one.
Not the Heroes of Wrestling, though. Not the Heroes of Wrestling.
No, not them. Well, I'm going to invite them, but we're going to put them on the live stream, and we're going to do a little clip and put them in a red zone, kind of we'll call it the Ultra Zone. And you're going to have to be able to jump in and out of districts and call these players and know what their tendencies are, all that kind of stuff. You ready for this?
Well, again, a lot of people don't realize you have to do a lot of homework when you do any kind of broadcast, and you kind of alluded to that. And obviously, I'll get down and dirty and get ready and be part of the Backgammon Alliance. My number one question to start out, thank you, sir, and thank Marley. Are you going to be the top seed in the tournament? Are you the number one ranked backgammon player?
If I throw my name in the hat, why? Of course, I've won the last two exhibition tournaments. One in San Diego, one on the other coast in Cocoa Beach. And those were just exhibitions, so those points won't count. So obviously, but I got to think this through. I was getting asked the same question by a few other people that reached out to me, wondering if I was going to play. And I don't even know who the commissioner is going to be. It might be me. I might go with somebody. We're still working that out. I'm putting the pieces together. But a big piece just came in right now. Randy Rosenbloom, the voice of the National Backgammon Alliance, sanctioned by the Amateur Athletic Union, and I believe will be titled by Mick Ultra.
I'm honored, and I appreciate you thinking of me, Denny, and liking my work in the past. I enjoyed doing some volleyball with you, so this will be a great experience. Will there be another analyst with me, or am I going solo on this?
I got a feeling it'll be something like this. I think I'll be teeing you up, and we'll send you to a district. You may have people, maybe boots on the ground if you find those in the districts that could give you, the local vibe. They might want to tell you, what's playing in the background at the bar, that kind of stuff. But I got a feeling it'll be something like this, Randy.
Yeah, so what you're saying is you're accepting my proposal back to you, and I can get on my knee if you want, that you will be involved and be my analyst and work with me. People are already trying to call in here. So they're talking about this. So are you accepting my role?
I am 100%. I'm here with you, buddy. This is it. Let's do this, Randy. Well, hey, this
when do we start, Denny? When's the first backgammon night?
Well, look, here's what I'm going to say. Just get to studying, learn the districts, learn the sport, and as look, the wheels of the AAU, the wheels of big corporate businesses roll as they roll.
You see this shirt? You recognize the shirt?
I'm impressed.
AAU when we were doing beach volleyball together. That's why I put it up. I'm
impressed, Randy. I'm impressed. Okay. I think we got people fired up. This is going to be good. I was talking to some of our fine veterans last night, telling them about this backgammon. They're going to host one out in Michigan at the Veteran of Foreign Wars Hall. And we're off and running. Everybody I talked to is already rallying up a crew. So we're off and running here, Randy. Hey, I appreciate you coming on the show. You're the best. And we'll keep this backgammon, the big wheels of backgammon rolling.
I appreciate it. I look forward to working with you. It's always fun being with the great Denny Lennon and Marlon Rice. And the great Marlon Rice.
Hey, thank you, Randy. Thank you for coming on. I got 2 quick updates. Randy, one more question.
Sure.
If you had to just name one event that you've ever called that would be the most important call you ever made, that would be?
The Olympics.
Okay, Randy, come on. Have I not swiped you before? Maybe has he been on the Friday show? I think he has, right? He's been on the Friday show. He's got to know I swipe people. Okay, good times. I know. I almost forgot. See that? I was so excited he proposed. That he took my proposal that I said, all right, a couple of interesting things. One, I just got a text from the contractor of the that's got to bring the cement in here. Oh, what do you know? It's coming Monday.
You just got to give him some shit on air.
Just got to go after you on the air. Well, I should have said something about Carlos not providing Casablanca tonight. Maybe that would have just magically appeared. We had to make this. Carlos. Apparently, Stone Cold Steve Austin's taking over the restaurant tonight for something. So I'll grant him a week.
We should have Randy go in.
So, yeah, Randy ought to go figure that out with Stone Cold because they could work out the wrestling issue. You guys got to look it up. Hey, Randy, on our video podcast, it's on YouTube. You can find it under the Thursday channel or, the video podcast. Go take a look. Randy is a gas. And I can't wait. I'm so excited he's going to be the voice of. Okay. Hey, very important event going off. It's called the Treehouse Comedy Relief. And that's LEAF. We'll let you know. It's a charity. It's a virtual comedy and music event that's happening in north of Santa Monica in the Treehouse district, if you'll call, north of Montana, rather, in Santa Monica. And so we are fortunate enough to have the organizer on, Maggie Hyde, and they're raising some really important money for the National Civil Rights Museum and also an organization called Know Us Without You. So this is going to be an important thing that important event that takes place on Sunday. I think you can get any and all of your tickets at Treehouse. There it is. Yeah, Treehouse Comedy. It's easily available through Facebook is where you can purchase. But we get a chance to chat with the organizer, comedian Maggie Hyde. First, though, if we have a guest, got to have a montage.
Finds me here beside the ocean, in a room with a view. I put my feet upon the sand, begin again where I began. Yeah, that's just what I will do. Back on 27th Avenue. Unspoken, too many hearts that I have broken, yeah, including my heart too. Oh, holy water, wash me clean of all I've done and all I've seen. I could use a blessing or two. Back on 27th Avenue, where I learned.
All right, let's bring her on, Maggie Hyde. Hello, Maggie.
Hey, Denny, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for coming on. I am, I dove into your event a little bit today, and I must admit, at my advanced age, I didn't recognize many of the young people that are performing, but they got massive social media followings. I think you're going to break the internet.
Well, I hope so, because, really the whole idea of this event is to have a virtual party for all of us. None of us can get together anymore, and to raise money for a great cause. Because I'll tell you a secret. I didn't know who most of those people were either. It's actually my birthday. I'm turning 39 again, as all ladies do. But for my birthday, I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate than comedy, community, and giving back.
Brilliant.
So we're really lucky. We have amazing sponsors, a mezcal sponsor, which is like perfect for our cocktail hour.
Yeah.
A cannabis sponsor, and we have the Verge Restaurant Group, who's a part of this event, and they're doing special tacos and Maggie Ritas for the event that everyone at home can order, so you can enjoy what we're enjoying to make the event inclusive, right? And they've been so generous; they're giving a portion of the proceeds to both of our charities. And the National Civil Rights Museum is really near and dear to my heart because I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah.
It's where I grew up. And it's so rare you can be in a place where something tragic occurred, but that people have taken it and transformed it into an agency for positive change.
I agree. I would love to kind of talk about that. How about a cheers to you and your birthday coming up on Sunday?
Woo!
And congratulations on running this. I like to say you're on the verge of greatness. You know what I mean? When you're dealing with Mark, because every time I call Mark Verge, I end up meeting somebody that's very successful and doing the right thing for people. So first, I want to ask you a little bit before we get to the National Civil Rights Museum about the first charity. Not without. Can you remind me? It was No Us Without
You. No Us Without You. It's a newer nonprofit, but they really help support restaurant workers and their families who have been displaced due to everything that's going on in the world. They help provide food security for them, which couldn't be more important right now. The restaurant industry has been very hard hit, and we all love our local restaurants, and we want these people to be able to feed their families who have fed us for years. I mean, I think crucial.
I like that has popped up. That's a great cause. It's called the Relief, and the leaf is on the fact that you're in what some call the Treehouse District or the Treehouse area, which is those north of Montana, south of Salmon City Boulevard, for those that know the west side of Los Angeles. And now, do you have some kind of treehouse at your own place?
Yeah, I mean, it's treehouse relief for many reasons, but in my yard, I have a 300-year-old Morton fig tree that's the sister tree of the tree at the Fairmont Hotel, if any of you are local. Oh, no. And I have a 3-story treehouse in my treehouse, a 3-story treehouse up there, made all of reclaimed materials. That's incredibly beautiful. It's a really magical spot. I mean, the tree itself has this incredible energy, and then the treehouse is a magical place.
Wow, that's brilliant. And so I understand you're gonna, obviously adhere to all, social distancing
Right.
and protocols and the like, but you're gonna have some of those influencers that are gonna be there, whether that's like what, a DJ or a comedian or
We
and
have.
I understand Bob Menery's coming.
Yes, I've heard that. And
Wow.
actually, Lethal Shooter, Chris Matthews is coming.
And
And a young rapper, the Kid Leroy, who is very big. And Bryce Vine, who's amazing. His music, I think, appeals to every generation. And then we've got some amazing comedians, including yours truly.
yeah.
Going to be doing some stand-up because, all of us performers, I mean, we haven't been able to perform. And yes, we're observing social distancing. We're all, taking COVID tests because, and everybody's in pods. It's kind of, people will be like those people who go to parties in groups and then never talk to anybody. Unfortunately, we have to do that.
It's like junior high parties. Yeah.
Yeah, but for us who haven't been able to stand up and do stand up, it's really exciting because
Sure.
we've been doing, Zoom shows in our bathrobes, laying down. We're ready to hear some live audience laugh. And so even everyone in our climbing up, right?
Matt, I don't know if you can hear me on my end. Like you froze for a second. You
You froze.
reloaded pretty quick. And I definitely want to hear a little bit more about you going up and the reload. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we'll leave Maggie in the two box right there. So I'll talk to her as if she can hear it. But there we go. We see that picture. But I think that's her place. Look at that. That's the tree you mentioned about the fig tree. Those are fig trees and the sister tree to what is over at the Fairmont. Like that is so great. That's like I said, south of Stanford City, north of Montana. This district. It's on the west side of Los Angeles. For those of you who are part of our national audience, and it is it's a beautiful area. You've probably seen it many times on different like films, stuff like that, television shows that you've probably seen. I think it was like the Gillette Razor Company or something. I think that was their tract land way back in the day they developed. And then hi Maggie.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, good. So you saw the treehouse back there.
We did. We put that up,
Yeah.
and I took some time. Look at that. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. So the second floor, the second level we call the crow's nest because there used to be a giant crow's nest up there. And then the third level is for the really brave who aren't afraid of heights. Hello. Hey, did I lose you again? I guess this is just what happens, right? Technical difficulties.
There we go.
I'm back. Hey, so Maggie, we just had figured out, and the world had just started doing all these kind of events, and
Right.
and so we were doing these Facebook Live shows at the time,
Right.
and we got thrown the AAU Sullivan Awards, and those honor the top athletes in the country.
Wow.
Been
Yeah.
around since 1930, right? Very prestigious award. That's what normally takes place at the New York Athletic Club. We got it thrown to us, and we were so worried running that big and that important of an event, right? That we were having to go to 10 different places with 10 hype videos and manage all of that. And we figured it out. And I think only one person, like Sabrina Ionescu, the famous basketball player, she was the only one that kind of froze up. So we got super lucky. But just like I think people are used to this now. You watch the Tonight Show and it freezes up, like this is part of it, but you just got to be ready. And then you go, you reload, and here we are. We're back.
Well, I probably need you there with me, helping me host at Treehouse Relief.
I'll take over the third floor of your treehouse.
Please, you can move in. You'll be welcome.
Hey, tell me a little bit about growing up in Memphis. One of the things I love about the National Civil Rights Museum is that I think on some way, the Lorraine Motel could have had a connotation totally different than it does now. People know that it was just incorporated into that build out so that it becomes a place of like learning about civil rights instead of some kind of stigma on the city.
Yeah. Well, yes, you're exactly right. And, there was huge controversy about what to do with the Lorraine Motel. But my father, along with many other people in Memphis, felt like it was really important not to run away from what's happened. We all need to know our history, because I believe if we don't know where we've been, we don't know where we're going. And I think that's really the motto of the museum. I mean, they took the tragic site, the Lorraine Motel, and preserved the place where Dr. King died. But then they built a museum around it that traces the history of the civil rights movement, pre-slavery, all the way through the current times, with focusing on all kind of causes for social justice. So it's a really positive place that focuses on education and making sure people know the history, really know it, and preserves all those things from the civil rights movement. It's very special. It's very powerful when you're there. I mean, you feel emotional, but I think they've done this really beautiful job at being this positive agent for change. And it's a place near and dear to my heart, especially. I worked on a film years ago called From the Balcony of Room 306, about the last person alive on the balcony with Dr. King. And that film is shown in the museum. It was on HBO. It was nominated for an Academy Award and an Emmy. It's very powerful. If you watch it, all the proceeds go to the museum. Everyone worked on it for free. But you learn some things from the museum that you wouldn't know. We all think we know the civil rights movement, but they have individual people's stories there, and it's housed there. And you can hear it firsthand through video, and the way they've done the museum is just really beautiful.
Wow, that really is, because it was such an important part of our history.
Right.
Sadly, Martin Luther King killed, of course, that day. But it was that I've been to the mountaintop speech that he said just prior to that,
right.
And then but he stayed at this hotel. I think that was black owned, right? It was Walter Bailey or somebody like that owned it. And I just love how it turned in, something so like out in Los Angeles, something that was a big part of our community was not a big part, but it's where RFK was killed. Robert Kennedy was killed at the Ambassador Hotel, and then it just kind of it went into a form of decay in a bad area, and then finally it turned into a high school, and I guess that was a good thing for a while. Then they had to demolish it and rebuild. This seems to be like something that really made the most out of a tragic incident.
It really did. And the reason it came together and worked is because the entire community worked together. It was a totally, everybody from every part of the city, every walk of life was a part of making that museum happen. So because it's all of our history, everyone in America, but it's certainly important as a Memphian and for all of us to embrace what happened and make positive change out of it, And I really feel like my city has made incredible progress. I feel like it's one of the best cities in the South now, and people should go visit it, and they should go to the museum for sure. And we have I love our basketball team, the Grizzlies, very much. Yeah.
No. I think, is your father part of the ownership group of the Grizzlies?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, the reason I say that is because sooner than not, I'm hoping sooner, I'll be interviewing Jerry West, and he was a big part of helping rebuild the Grizzlies after he left the Lakers. And they've always been, a respected group. And also, you can't go wrong. It wasn't Memphis where Al Green came out of, right?
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with that.
He still sings in his church every Sunday.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And Jerry West lived in Memphis for a while when he was doing that. Yeah, he and my dad became good friends. And I really enjoyed Memphis.
He's the best. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your event. First, want to remind everybody how they can get tickets, and go ahead. You can talk about that.
On the link, you can. It's really the tickets are really inexpensive, and it's streaming across multiple platforms. So if one's not working, if you're having technical difficulties, you can get it somewhere else. Okay. And what we're hoping is during the show that people will buy food from Margot's, which part of the proceeds go to the charities, and donate. I mean, if you're having a good time and you're laughing and having fun, I mean, these musicians and these people showed up to try to have, perform for you, make you laugh, make you get up in your kitchen and dance while you're eating great tacos, in hopes that while you're having fun, you'll think about giving back to these amazing charities. But most of all, we want really people to have a fun party. And a fun party that they feel good about. I mean, it's one time where you don't have to worry about counting the calories of the tacos. You can just help us count the money we're raising.
I like it. I like it. And from what I understand, if you order something, it can be delivered through Postmates, and Mark Virgil actually bring it to your house. So how is he going to do this? Like what's the radius? How far away can I?
Actually, though, he's not going to bring it, but all all the deliveries free. So, and they're giving a portion of the proceeds to the charity. So Mark is incredibly generous. And you know, this is a secret I'm just going to reveal for you tonight. All the money we raise, I'm going to match that to the charities. That's
wow.
So my birthday, I want to be the one giving. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
That's brilliant. Way to go. True or false? Mark Verge is going to do 7 minutes of stand-up.
False. But maybe he's going to take a shooting lesson. What do you think from Chris?
Well, Chris Matthews, if I'm not mistaken, it was a St. Monica boy.
Oh,
I think he went to St. Monica High School. I'm pretty sure he did. And I remember now the guy I really looked up to when I used to play high school basketball was Leon Wood. And Leon, I know this is, I don't know if you know who he is. He's actually an NBA ref for a long time now. And he was one of the top picks in the draft back in the day. But Leon out of St. Monica has really set that program on fire right there in Santa Monica, not far from where we're talking about. And then, there was some other great players that came through there, including Chris Matthews. So the lethal shooter, I like it.
Sure, yeah. Maybe if he could teach me how to shoot a basketball, it would be a miracle.
Well, if he does that, think how many people will sign up.
Yeah, yeah.
That would be brilliant. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Maybe, hey, I got an idea.
Okay.
So you and Mark, you play. Chris Matthews kind of works with both of you, and Bob Menery calls the highlights. And if you've ever seen Bob Menery's highlights, that would be hilarious.
Oh, God. All right. Could I club my son in? My older son was a high school baseball player, a college baseball player, and a high school basketball player.
There you go.
Sub yeah.
You sub him in. Just foul Mark. He comes in on the first dead ball.
Okay, good. Good.
Excellent. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on and sharing that with us. And we're glad that we can be part of it. And hopefully my crowd will jump over there on Sunday. It's Sunday starting at 5:30.
5. And come and have a fun party with us, drink margaritas and eat tacos and give back to a good cause. I mean,
love it. It's a great cause. Thank you for doing
with me, guys.
You bet.
Yeah, cheers.
It was a pleasure having you. Cheers. And happy birthday.
Thank you.
That way. All right. Okay, good. My Stuff Bags is my sister's organization that we also support. We got a shout out for the Heroes Movement, of course, today, and we're happy to be part of that. We were hoping, as I mentioned on Wednesday's show, that we're going to have Jonas Never on tonight's show. Apparently, the power of the NBC network and their new app, the Peacock, stole him away from us. Whatever. He'll be back next week. I know he will. And so hopefully we'll have Jonas Never on next week. But that said, for my first phone call was to Mark Verge. Now, Mark is such a good guy. He's so connected, and he really helps people connect with other people, and all of us move together through him. He actually was the one who I learned about the Heroes Movement through, was Mark Verge. So he's supporting this. It's a good cause. And we want to thank Maggie for coming on and pushing that. And hopefully our crowd will go there and support a very worthy endeavor on Sunday. Okay. I didn't catch the latest Clipper score, but they're going to the Western Conference Final to play the Lakers. I don't think there's any problem with that. You see, I am not a hater of any LA team. Angels, not so much. They're in Orange County. Orange County people are. But LA teams, fine. Rams, good. They're my favorite. Chargers, second favorite. Clippers, second favorite. Lakers, favorite. Nothing wrong with that. You could argue with me. Send me something at Sports Stories DL, right? You could do that. But hey, let's go. Lakers, Clippers, undefeated. Rams, Chargers. Here we go. Dodgers, let's go. We want a piece of the Astros. We do. Let's see them cheat and bang on the drum. On the trash can in an empty stadium where everybody can hear you.
Joe Kelly.
Let's do that. Hey, go see the Jonas Never, Joe Kelly. And then we'll be here on Tuesday for Never Seen LA with a Never one. Not a here. It'll be on Instagram. Okay.
Interesting man in the world.
Okay. We're good. All right. So, we got, hey, when this guy turned 50 years old, my daughter, who is a high level photographer, did a shot and that we put out to so, so I did get, I might have been muted. All of it?
From my sister's a high level photographer. I mean, my daughter.
So my daughter is a high level photographer. There it is. And she took this photo as a promotional photo for the box cobbler's 50th birthday. That's right. That's a box cobbler. You just found out his real name's Ray Castro. And look at what he's got in front of him. Backgammon. You see? See? This has been coming. This has been coming for years. It's been coming for years because I think he's like 74 or something like that now. All right. So we got the box cobbler.
8280.
We got come on, Clippers. All right. We got box cobbler. Buck kicks it out, and we're out. And did I do the Steve McGarrett right? McGarrett 5-0. All right, we're out.
Come as you are, as you were, we have no enemies. Take your time, hurry up, the choice is yours, don't be late. Take a rest as a friend. Sports stories, sports stories, sports stories.
Sports Stories with Denny Lennon is supported by the AAU. Find a local event and join at aausports.org. And remember, you can catch your favorite amateur sports live stream, replays, and highlights at ballertv.com. Sports Stories, along with East Bay, supports the Heroes Movement, a nonprofit that bridges the gap from mental or physical therapy to getting strong again through strength and conditioning workouts. This free service is available for any veteran of the United States Armed Forces. Visit heroesmovementusa.org for more information. Sports Stories, along with thousands of people across the country, also supports the My Stuff Bags Foundation, a nonprofit that provides traumatized children with new belongings and new hope. Learn more at mystuffbags.org. Sports Stories with Denny Lennon is a production of Sports Stories, Inc. and is available on Apple Podcasts and YouTube or wherever you listen and watch. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and give us a review. It really helps spread the word. You can find all our social media links, archives, and other info on our website at sportsstoriespodcast.com. Special thanks to the John R. Wooden Course and Wooden's Wisdom. Original music for Sports Stories is courtesy of Lennon Music Productions. Original images by Sienna Lennon Photography. Sports Stories is produced by Christine Jimbo and Marley Rice. Sports Stories is edited by Bob McCall. Additional staff include Ray Castro, Teresa Dolan, Jake Downey, Carlos Haro, and Buck Magic Lennon. Kick it out, Buck!
Yeah, kick it out! Kick it out! Yeah, buddy! Way to kick it out! Good job!